This is John Michael Grogan with Advancing Your World. Life is not for the faint of heart. As Vince Lombardi said, when the going gets tough, the tough get going. Today, I want to share with you how to recover from the wounds, hurts, and slams that come as a result of living life.
Dr. John Michael Grogan is a worldwide best-selling author and speaker. In this podcast, Advancing Your World, Dr. John Michael will help you position yourself for success by achieving greater purpose, significance, and exceptionalism. Now, here's Dr. John Michael Grogan.
William Shatner, well known for his role as Captain Kirk of the USS Enterprise in the television show Star Trek, said something profound in his autobiography, Up Till Now. He said, "Don't let life kill you." There are two things we know about life. It is not a sprint, it's a marathon. And that life can grind you down. Martin Luther King said, "The ultimate measure of a person is not where they stand in moments of comfort and convenience, but where they stand at times of challenge and controversies." Life is like a fight, and it can knock you out. I like the story about a fighter being interviewed after a fight. The interviewer asks, "What kind of fighter are you?" The fighter says, "When I'm knocked down and heading for the canvas, in my mind, I'm getting up." To be brave is to get back up and get in the fight. And that's not always easy. Here are some things that can knock us out of the fight. The fear of failure. Too many people give up before ever trying because of the fear of failure. Others make a half-hearted attempt in order to be able to say, "At least I tried." A.C. Benson, 20th century English essayist, poet, and author, said, "The worst sorrows in life are not in the losses and misfortunes, but in its fears." Interestingly, we are born with only two fears, the fear of falling and the fear of loud noises. Every other fear is learned. Discouragement is another enemy that can take us out of the fight. Discouragement negatively impacts endurance. Remember, life is a marathon. Endurance is taken from two Greek words, up and hold. It's a military term conveying the idea of abiding, bearing with, not fainting or suffering the loss of courage. Endurance describes the quality of carrying on under problematic circumstances without passive resignation. To persist with hope and fortitude while actively resisting both weariness and surrender to fear and doubt. This is true grit. This is real bravery. Ask anyone who's been in combat. Bravery is performing while facing off with fear. A proverb from the Message puts it squarely. If you fall to pieces in times of testing, there wasn't much to you in the first place. There's another adversary, a stealthy adversary, waiting to ambush us. Overstriving. Workaholics are particularly vulnerable to this. This will eventually lead to burnout. Burnout overwhelms and incapacitates us. It distorts our view of reality. Reality is what we should strive for. Let me give you an example. Don't pine over yesterday's missteps, errors, mistakes, or slights. Yesterday's a canceled check. Tomorrow's a promissory note. Only today is legal tender. Focus on the positive. Focus on today, for each day brings enough trouble of its own. Become flexible. Don't hold on to things too tightly. You lose your flexibility to change. Let go of the things you cannot keep in order to grasp the things you cannot lose. God may have something better in mind for you. Like a seed that falls to the ground, it lays there and dies. But if it should fall into the ground, it will sprout and reproduce itself many times over. In order for us to grow to the next level, the old must sometimes be discarded and die. I have learned, sometimes painfully, that the beginning of joy is in adversity, and gratitude dissolves negativity. You cannot be grateful and negative at the same time. George Bernard Shaw wrote, "This is the true joy of life, being used up for a purpose recognized by yourself as a mighty one, being a force instead of a feverish, sniveling, selfish little clod of ailments and grievances, complaining that the world will not devote itself to making us happy." Here's something worth considering. If you want to fall in love with life, get involved with something that's bigger than you are. Give yourself away in service to others. Pretty good advice, I'd say, considering that we were created to serve. Focusing only on the ideal and ignoring reality is immaturity. Focusing only on reality and failing to strive for the ideal leads to bitterness and cynicism. Here's an interesting question. Are you an oak tree, a pine tree, or a palm tree? Most oak trees, as do pines, have a lateral mass of roots that help supply moisture to the tree, but they only lie 18 inches under the soil. In a high wind, they can fall over. Pine trees have the same rooting structure and can snap off 6 to 8 feet above the ground. The noble palm, however, will bend in hurricane, typhoon, even tsunami winds 40 or 50 degrees without breaking. It's due to the palm tree's deep taproot. God wants us to be like the palm tree, to bend and flex with the onslaught of life's high winds of adversity without breaking. But simply stated, we cannot do this alone. The choice before us is plain. We can go it alone, or we can seek counsel from God, our great advocate. Tempest fugit, memento mori. Swiftly fly the years. Remember your mortality. Non legitimus carborundum. Until next time, this is John Michael Grogan saying, be strong, be bold, be courageous.
Sign up for exclusive access to Dr. Grogan's newsletter, and as an added bonus, you'll receive access to the growth chart that Dr. Grogan talks about in the podcast Majoring in the Majors. Visit johnmgrogan.com and sign up today. That's johnmgrogan.com. And don't forget, subscribe to Advancing Your World on your favorite podcast app.